Good morning, students. Welcome to another week at school on the distance learning plan. Can you believe it's week 6 already on this? So good morning, bore da, bună dimineața, dobre otre, have a great week ahead. This is our final week before our Easter break. So on Friday the 17th of April, we are on a special Easter break. But before I talk about the messages for the week, I just want to say a few thank yous for the incredible learning that we saw across the school last week. So my first thanks really is the celebration of Science Week. My thanks to all the colleagues in the science department across the primary schools for the amazing experiments that we saw. Baking soda and vinegar all over ruined coffee tables. Please don't send the bills to me, okay? But it was wonderful. So Mr. Vasily, thank you for the Science Heritage Twitter page, the amount of tweets that you were sending out last week showing the incredible learning, the curiosity, the investigation, and just the fun of learning science. We also had World Health Day last week from the World Health Organization. This is really important in this lockdown, that when we're at home in our sort of social isolation, although I'm pretty keen to hear people not use the word we're socially isolated, just physically isolated, because we've got to make sure that we're socially connected more, even more so. But we have to remember all those key workers, people in the health services, people stacking the shelves in the shops, our police, trying to make sure the lockdown is maintained, that we're safe, that we let this awful curve of cases flatten, and give thoughts and thanks to all those people. I know there's some great stories of people clapping, for example, in the UK, the NHS workers, or we see it in Italy, celebrating and cheering. These people really are on the front line of trying to get rid of this horrible virus. So the school did some wonderful work last week to honour and celebrate World Health Day. I also want to say a huge thank you for one of the assemblies, the quality of the assemblies. Now, I think I give a half-decent assembly to my students, but I have to say the standard is being set each week. My thanks to 3E and 4E and Mrs. Larissa for a wonderful assembly to the primary school this week. 9E, here we go. All right, 9E, as you know, we have a good conversation about you in our staff meetings on a Wednesday. Guys, you nailed it. Okay, Igor, I guess you're having a word with these people. Daria, you're doing a good job there. Andre, Artur, Mihai, whatever's happening, the reports we had this week of you guys, dedication, concentration, attendance, wonderful guys, keep it up, okay? So thank you. I thought I'd get that in there and say that before we went any further. It was really good to hear, okay? So well done, guys. Mrs. Elena Malaka, if you have ever seen her artwork, it's extraordinary. Now this week, I asked for a small sketch to go with the notes from the Lighthouse column section I do of the bulletin. If you get a chance to look at the painting that she did, I took the theme from the Welsh language, from an idea of Imiar o hyd, we are still here. Because we are still here, and that lighthouse of heritage, even the lighthouse colours of red and white, stands there with the beacon to make sure that education will shine throughout all of this awful crisis. And I thought it was captured in this amazing painting that Mrs. Elena did for the school. So my thanks, Mulțumesc, for this painting. It will now be at the top of our bulletin to show everybody that the light of hope and education continues all the way through this awful COVID-19 crisis. I want to say also a huge thank you to Mrs. Tatiana Popper. Now, as you know, this year we put on for the first time the Founders Lecture Series. And this is in honour of our founders who, when they set the school up, Mrs. Natalia and Mr. Sinan, their vision was to make sure this was a very different school. It gave different opportunities, but they were all anchored in the idea of preparing young people for those challenges of the 21st century. And so the lecture series is drawn upon all sorts of parents that we have in our community, and my thanks to all of them for contributing to this. But what I was really pleased to see this week, well, a couple of things. When we started the lecture series, we had 3 remarkable Moldovan young women who had won the scholarships offered by the British government to go to the UK, called Chevening Scholars. It was one of the best starts we had back in September with Gary Davis, the Chargé d'Affaires at the British Embassy as well. We finished this week, or rather last week, with another remarkable young Moldovan woman Cristina Shaw, who is a former student of Mrs. Tatiana Popper, who won a scholarship to the US, to the New York University, and she gave an incredible talk about her experiences. And in these times, when we're trying to look forward and look for the good, we had inspiration, we had dedication, we had hard work, we had somebody who was a confident global citizen, all the things that the founders wanted for the school and for the educational ethos of this school. And it was the 10th and final one for the series. We did it online. We took it online and we did about 150 of you asking questions on an online interactive Google Meet lecture. I think that was incredible first, guys. So my huge thanks to Mrs. Tatiana Popper and Mrs. Linda for the background help and assistance, for making sure you got that incredible opportunity. The school is open, the campus is the only thing that's closed, and that was demonstrated last week. I also want to say thank you because every day your incredible parents are sending the most heartfelt, supportive messages to colleagues in the school, to your teachers, to administrative staff. We are getting real encouragement knowing that we're working together as a community. So I was going to read a couple out today, but effectively they say that it's just how pleased your parents are that we're working together, that we're providing the continuity and the certainty and the routines of meaningful distance learning that's happening daily, that's interactive. And that's the difference that we feel that a model of ours is doing at the school. And I just want to say thank you to all those parents who support us, because your words mean so much when we're trying to. It's doubled our teaching loads. It's taken, us out of our comfort zones, but we're all doing this because we all believe in our young people. We believe in you guys, okay? So again, as I always say, don't make them cranky, do the washing up, put things away, make a meal, don't play the music too loud. Let's keep everybody going through all this together. I also want to say that this week, my thanks again to the wonderful work both student councils, primary and gymnasium, are doing. But as you know, we support, as part of our social responsibility, a local dog shelter, Ariel, and some of us went there in October. We've done 2 collections of food. Now, we can't do anything physical for them, but this week they're doing a GoFundMe, and the details were posted and they're in the bulletin as well. This is really important work, guys, because in all of this, we can't forget our animal welfare, we can't forget the vulnerable people in our societies, we can't forget our key workers. We are being made more aware the wider society we live in and our place in that and how it all interconnects and all the parts we play. So that was one we put out this week. Minecraft Club, Simeon and gang, Jacob, Nella, Malta, Evie, who else did I see in the list this week there? Forgive anyone I've missed out. But you have done an incredible job, Adam, this week in getting Minecraft Club up and running. So thank you guys, good student leadership to see there. I also want to say that in terms of the bulletin, thank you for all the contributions. You get that every Friday. Mrs. Inger does an amazing job in making sure the community is connected and that we show the work that's going on across the school. And lockdown life and all the things and trials and tribulations that we're dealing with at the moment is that. And so we're kind of coming into Easter. Easter's a traditional time of renewal. It looks forward to the summer. Things are growing. We can see the sun. It's been very warm this last week or so. Now, I did get through Jane Eyre. Mr. Rochester, I don't think I'm ever going to be a fan of Mr. Rochester. I've gone back to Alistair Cook. You won't know who he is. He was a remarkable Englishman who lived in the States for most of the 20th century, died only about 10 or so years ago. His Letters from America was a wonderful weekly programme. I think it was the longest recorded programme for the BBC. It started in the 1940s, right through until the early part of the 21st century. And Alistair Cook would record from his New York apartment overlooking Central Park. And I've just gone back to his series on looking at American history, and I love his voice on the radio. It's interesting how we're liking audio and things much more now. So again, that's the book out at lockdown. And Paddy Lee Fermer was one of these remarkable people. Basically at the age of 18, please, I'm not suggesting parents that our students do this, but it's about discovering and setting off on your own lives. And at the age of 18 in the 1930s, he basically walked from London to Constantinople. And he spent a lot of time actually in Romania and in Moldova, Bessarabia as it was then. And he wrote 3 amazing books in the course of his life about these journeys from his diaries. And I love dipping into this because the language is so rich and his experiences, and a real travel writer's gift for making the everyday mundane suddenly have more meaning and resonance. And that's really important in this crisis right now, that the things we've taken for granted, having a meal with our parents, a good sleep, a good read, a good conversation, the drawing, the paintings, the creativity is amazing that's coming out of this. All of those things we seem to forget in different times, and yet now we have an opportunity to really sharpen the senses and think about these things more. So those are the two I'm reading at the moment. And I would like to read to you a quote that I came across this week by Viktor Frankl, I hadn't read for a long time. And after he survived the Holocaust, he said a very famous quote in one of his books: "Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." And I think all of us, we're not facing anything as horrific as that type of situation that Viktor Frankl was in, but what we can all think about in our given set of circumstances is how we choose our attitudes and how we choose our own way. And when our parents sort of say to us, put this away, or come on now, or we're finding sometimes we're a bit tired and we're trying to get things done, think about how we respond. Think about how we choose our own way. You're an amazing bunch of young people. We are so proud to serve you. We're so proud of what you are achieving every day, giving hope, that beacon of hope from the lighthouse, guys, and we're really proud. Keep this going. We're almost there to Easter and a nice break. There's some nice activities planned for you as well, so don't worry, a lot of them offline. So guys, as always, hope, speranza, nadezhda. Take care, guys.